I know how you think, mate. Don't let this bloke wind you up.
So, second half about to get underway. Referee Chris Leatherborough just checking on the sidelines. You see what's happening? We're ganging up against you here, Nobby. You see, you have a go at him. He's trying to get on my side. And
divide and conquer.
Second half about to get underway here. Richie Hawkyard is the man who will put boots to ball for the very first time in this second period. Left foot in, it just holds up a bit. There is a bit of a wind blowing now, isn't it? It's a bit stronger in this second half.
Yeah, I was going to mention that half time. I think it's picked up on it.
Yeah,
it'd be interesting to see if there is an advantage for one team one way.
And I get the feeling that it's blowing into the faces of Swinton in this second half. So it's very much in the favour of Doncaster in terms of it's behind their backs, but as Brian says, whether it makes a difference or not remains to be seen.
Well, I was trying to find a flag, but they took them off the post because it's not traditional rugby league anymore.
Yeah, we don't do flags anymore, do we? We don't count anymore. Here it goes, left-hand side. Doncaster looking for a bright start to the second half, as they had a bright start to the first. Looking to dominate again here, if they can.
I think Tony Miller will have reinforced in his team talk that how we were successful for that first 30 minutes. No nonsense, go forward, direct play, and then hand the ball onto this bloke.
Here he is. Kirk gets the kick away again despite the pressure. And it's a high one that is a bit blustery up there, but it's taken well by Kevin Penny. Kept his eyes on the ball. Again, it's a very good chase by Doncaster, so he's not got a lot of options. A risky pass maybe, or take it yourself. And he took the most conservative option, perhaps wisely. Here's Ormsby having a go.
Yeah, great carry.
So both wingers involved. Smith at dummy half. Now Mills. The big fella drags Swinton to the halfway line very nearly. With 3 tackles gone. Here's Smith again. It's that right-hand side. Driven in by Danny Bridge. Younger brother of Chris Bridge, of course. Smith. Trying to step in.
To be fair, Hawkyard on the edge there, he's got his nose through a lot, hasn't he? And that arm available. He just needs a little bit more push and support with him.
Here's a 6, by the way, and up it goes, down it comes. I think it was a knock-on, it was in the first instance by Rhys Williams. But they've gone more or less 90 metres, 80 metres in that set.
Yeah.
A role reversal, wasn't it? Doncaster started the wrong way.
It's good market defence out there from Swinton. I think it was James Brown.
Yeah.
Getting out there.
And he feels good, and he got that out. 20 metres barely made. Doncaster with a bit of hard work to do here. Waterman, the latest to be dragged down.
They look a lot more vigorous, don't they? Swinton at the start.
There's a little bit more lines of speed about them and getting bodies in and contact in. I mean, I thought first half they were just giving a lot of metres away, weren't they? They just weren't getting off their defensive line, and they were willing to let Doncaster roll down the hill. But there's certainly more about them this second half.
Yeah, Doncaster's turn to kick this time, but from very deep inside their own half, and Penny collects, hands it on to Richie Hawkyard, and he runs bravely.
Not short of effort, is he?
He bats above his average, doesn't he? He just ramps up and tries to do something for the team. Really brave.
We mentioned this before. He was with you at Bradford, wasn't he, in the academy a few years ago. And off they go again. Head down and in he goes. Second drive, second take in by Richie Hawkyard. In this particular set, we've only had 3 tackles, and already again on the halfway line. Here's Watson dropping it off. James Brown again with a sturdy carry. Smith at dummy half. Watson to his right, but he's gone left instead to Harvey. Williams caught in possession but gets it away, and Harvey out to Penny. Penny against What a work from Penny, and then puts it back on the inside. Oh, what a try that was. What a sensational try that was. Sarsfield, the man who's finished it, his name will be in all the headlines. Matt Sarsfield, but the footwork from Kevin Penny.
Let's talk about that footwork. How good was it?
That was vintage Kevin Penny.
Absolutely.
He just stood him up and shook his head, and boom, he was gone. Off the right foot, inside, off his right foot. Whoosh.
Whooshka, boom. Off the right foot there, in and away.
Sarsfield on the inside as well to finish the play, which really helped him.
Work. In and away there, beautiful.
Yeah.
2-4's no slouch, is he?
So
as he's proven tonight.
In an era when we've been talking about the big wingers and 2-4 and the wham bam, and just subliminal skills and footwork there from Kevin Penny.
Well, it's one. There are moments in rugby league, little moments. We've seen a couple from Paul Cook tonight when he just produces a pass like he does, and it brings the hairs up on the back of your neck. But that is a moment to match any of them, isn't it?
It's fantastic, and it was good as well. Like, I mean, for the younger viewers that are watching, that when he's gone in and he's gone away, he's transferred the ball to the outside arm, to his left arm, so he could get the right fend in case Tufel could get across and make any form of tackle. So that was smart play as well from Penny.
Harvey's kick won first of the night, so it's 14 points now to Swinton, 18 for Doncaster. The locals are getting excited again, and well they might.
Absolutely. Again, good transfer of the ball there, didn't you think? Bang, till he gets the fend away. But we said, didn't we, just before half-time, it was game on, boys, didn't we?
Yep.
And it certainly is now.
It looks as though he's enjoyed that moment, doesn't he? Kevin Penny's just having a chat with the touch judge behind him. Did you see that? Did you see that?
Yeah, well, some of us that have never done those kind of things, it's a pleasure to watch.
You used to sidestep with your eyebrows, didn't you?
And the Maori sidestep.
Wiggle your eyebrows. Right and left. Here comes Hawkyard up from dummy half. Now Mills. Swinton have got the wind in their sails here. Remember, they were trailing 18-0 with 18 minutes played. And here we are, how long? 5-6 minutes into the second half. They've got it back within 4.
Hold on, power. Right, third, go.
Here's Smith. Watson.
Help! Release, Beezer.
10 metres short of the halfway line here. Swinton. Watson is going to kick from well inside the 40 this time, but never really testing the touchline, and taken by Waterman. Runs it back hard enough. Watson sent bowling, wasn't he?
Welcome back here, Watson.
Yes.
Search from Spears.
Hold, go. Good, Millser.
Here's Dennis 2-4. It's a good carry by him. Good carry.
Good leg drive.
Hold on, Smithy.
Inside Swinton territory.
Otto, come on, you're
3 tackles
Go, you're
gone.
in front. Help! Release! 4, right. Go.
Hughes plays it.
Millser, you're blending again, you're off.
Carbot.
He's gone well when he's been on the field, hasn't he, Carbot?
Yeah, he's added some punch, hasn't he?
5 gone. Here comes the last. Cook will just kick it into that corner, make it as awkward as possible for Hawkyard, but he's done well. Safety first.
This is where Doncaster want them in that corner. They've got to get off their line and get into them.
Here's Smith. It's Penny again. Give me that ball again, please. Oh, have it again.
He's appealing for a grapple there, Penny, wasn't he? He's looking at the referee.
Here's Mills driving it forward.
4, move! Hold it.
So 4 gone. Barely outside their 20. Doncaster desperate to try and keep them here if they can. Swinton looking wide.
Oh,
here.
good offload, Axco.
Hawkyard on that far side, the older one, Darren. He's tackled, still inside their own half. This is the 6, so Watson given the task of kicking downfield. Oh, it was taken well in the end,
didn't he?
by Waterman. Fingertip catch by Lee Waterman. I don't know if you're watching Sri Lanka against England early today in the cricket, but the Sri Lankans could have done with some catching like that in their field. They dropped a few.
Did they?
Here's 2-4. He's almost through.
Move! Wait! Go, come on, fellas.
Here's Powley. Adam Scott. Here's the kick. Here's the kick. Oh, and he just gets there. Just caught it inside the boundary ropes. Well done. Oh, good carry here by Sanderson. And a good offload as well. And suddenly they're flying. Suddenly there's an opportunity. Oh, force it. Can't keep hold of what was, to be fair, a difficult pass. Had he kept hold. Look how difficult it was to take.
Here, Sass. You gotta be quick on this floor, mate.
Just need to lift the ball. Was it Powley, was it?
Yeah, Powley, the hooker, yeah, they got out off the back of the Sanderson offload.
That's play on, that's the right decision. Through our viewers might have been questioning for the first pass, but just needed to lift it, Powley, if he could.
Yeah, if he could have.
Here's Harvey. Open it back on the inside again.
He's got some good leg drive, hasn't he, Ormsby?
He's still going.
He's still going, you're right.
Eventually he'll be forced to play it. Smith
They're offside, Doncaster here, aren't they?
Yeah, I thought
Well, Swinton have shown terrific pedigree here tonight, terrific character.
Oh, they're well offside again.
Lifting themselves the way they have. Sarsfield. He's only about 35 metres out. Smith. Across it goes to Watson. That defence is quickly up there. Watson tries to push his head through. Doncaster defence really up quickly. Very smart on that occasion. So a little kick through on this occasion by Bridge. It's caught well enough by Waterman.
For being honest with you, I think the kick play was on the play earlier. The fullback was out of position, out the back. He didn't trail across the back when the pass was going along the line, and the winger was up in the defensive line. So I thought the kick, either the chip over the top there or grub rim behind the line, was the play there before. You agree, Brian?
I do. But my reflection is that both fullbacks have been really brave when they've got to the kicks. Yeah, the kick was on before when he wasn't there, and that's the tip for both teams.
Castle wants to get up and play this. Eventually he does. Here he comes.
Waller's back on.
Waller. Good effort. That's 5. Here comes the last though. So Fawcett with this kick. Richie Hawkyard comes scrambling across here, and he's not going to take the gamble, knowing that his side will get the head and feet again.
That's a smart kick from Fawcett, I think.
Good kick.
You know, I think it's the right kick. You know, it just takes a bit of edge off it, you know, because Swinton, let's be honest, have had the momentum this second half, and they're playing at the tempo and all that. And I just think, you know, Doncaster, they just need to regroup, and I think that was a smart kick there. Put it into touch, walk to the scrum, regroup, get the defensive line set, and try and win that field position battle back.
And if you are joining us late, if you've missed our build-up tonight and the early part of the first half, let me just draw your attention to something we're putting on the weekend, the 21st of June through to the 24th. State of Origin Rewind weekend here on Premier Sports. It's free to air, so tell all your mates, tell everyone you know to have a look at Premier Sports. Starts at 6 p.m. on Friday the 21st of June, and there'll be lots and lots of State of Origin games, going back right to the first series, Wally Lewis and all that. Some great characters throughout the years as well, in what is probably the best rugby league action in the world ever on a yearly basis. Oh, that little flick has gone behind. Here's Ormsby. Oh, good play. Oh, Ormsby suddenly has got a way through. Now where's his support? Here it is from Hawkyard. He tries to round the full-back, but Waterman's across there to make a very good tackle.
It's the last tackle, isn't it?
This is the next one, the last one. Yes, here we go. It's Darren Hawkyard. Does he know it's a 6? He's kept it alive. Richie Hawkyard bouncing in. He keeps it alive as well. Ainscough still going forward. And Ainscough eventually is going to be tackled 10 metres out. But given where they were on tackle 4, they're not going to complain where they are on tackle 6, are they?
Paul Cook had him here by the scruff of it, but he's too strong. He breaks free. He breaks free of the next 2 tackles and he's gone. Great pass, back to Hawkyard, by support from Hawkyard, and they scrambled well, Doncaster in the end.
Yeah, they did. But, good, exciting play from the Swinton outside backs again.
Release 2. Wait.
So Doncaster, who, let me remind you, 20 minutes played, looked to be cruising this cup tie, didn't they?
Well, they're well in control, let's be honest, Dave. That first 30 minutes, they were well in control. Powley's gone through a gaping hole. Riley opens the door.
Whoa, and the support was coming up from Fawcett, but he couldn't get the pass away.
He couldn't get there quick enough. Just needed to slow himself down a little bit.
Here comes Kirk. Look at the gap on the right-hand side here. Kirk puts it over the top. 2-4 has to stand and wait for it, but now he's in full flight. Bouncing his way in. Oh, and he's hit the flag. He's hit the flag, but did he manage to ground this? Remember, the flag doesn't come into play these days. The referee's put the square in the air. So video referee Peter Brook, it's back to you again.
Okay, if we go through in slow motion, seeing if the foot or the ball goes on the line, the corner flag obviously doesn't count. Slow. The separation. We just back it up, please. Slow. You run that through from there. Pause it. Yeah. Looks like the separation. Can you get from the corner, maybe the other cut side? Just to make sure the separation of the ball. Yeah. That's the corner. Yeah. Okay, let's slow it down. Yeah, clear separation. ball hits the corner flag. It's not in possession as it hits the corner flag. It's by an attacking player. Therefore, it will be no try, 20-metre restart.
No try, 20 restart.
There you go. Clear and precise description.
Like your description.
Yes. And we have a tap back on the 20. No arguments with that, fellas, at all.
No.
So it remains in the balance here. 4 points, that's the difference. Doncaster still have the lead, but it's been getting slenderer and slenderer as the night has gone on, or at least the last 40 minutes or so have been going on. Swinton in full heart. The South Yorkshire side hoping to stop this wave of blue coming back at them again here. Mills takes it in, stoutly does it, inside Doncaster territory. Hume from dummy half. This now is Watson, taken on again. Danny Bridge is the man who's put down. This is the 6th tackle. It's put behind. High kick from Harvey. 2-4s underneath it. Caught in his, I was going to say in the in goal, but it was in the field of play, wasn't it? So he has to do his best to get there. And they start from there.
Well, it's good kick pressure too from the prop forward Mark Castle. He got there and decided to put a pressure on his own there. He needed a bit more of his teammates to work with him.
Still only 1 penalty in this game, by the way. That was in the first half. It's remarkable, isn't it?
That is remarkable.
And it has been free-flowing, which is great.
Oh, Hendel's been trying to ref the game. He was 5 minutes ago. He called about 4 penalties down, didn't he?
Well, there was a couple of sides, let's be honest, boys.
Here's Cook. He's just outside the 40 when he kicks this, by the way. And it's gone out on the full anyway.
Massive play.
Knows it himself.
Oh, this could be the game breaker, boys.
Actually, my mistake. It was the 30-metre line I was looking at. That's the 30-metre line, isn't it?
He's leathered it.
So had this bounced, it would have been a fantastic kick. As it is, it's Swinton head and feed back inside the Doncaster half.
I know it's cliche, boys, but it's count of inches.
Waltz in. Sass in. 2 hands, what's up, ball in. South.
Gone metric now, you know what I mean.
Let's wait for you to come back.
Ball, use it. Move.
Not getting working in centimetres. Here's Sarsfield up from dummy half. It's picked up by Hume. Son of Paul Hume, lots of family connections in the Championship, of course. Liam Hume again now, collects it, puts it on. This is Darren Hawkyard who takes it in. 5 metres away, that's all. Hume stands and waits. Swinton having trailed 18-0, looking to get themselves back level again here. And it's a great chance. Watson throws it out. Dragged down is Harvey. So they lose a bit of momentum and a bit more because he trips up before he plays it. So slow play the ball. Mills, still going. Going to be held up, down on his knees. The big fella, up he gets and plays it. This is the last. Little kick towards that right-hand side. Ainsko reaches, taken by Sanderson. And Sanderson running it away. But he's going to be caught. I think there was a knock-on in there, wasn't there? So it's a handover.
Yeah, you're right, Dave. They're saying it's off Swinton. So.
Wait a minute, no, it's where it's coming, B.
Ainsko, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So Doncaster hang on. How big a set in defence was that from Doncaster's point of view?
Very big. In the scheme of things, there's got plenty of time to go for both teams, but I just think it shows that the mettle, the Doncaster mettle, because it's all been Swinton all this second half for me.
Doncaster need to find a way back into this this game, even though they lead. It's a strange thing to say 18-14 up, isn't it? But they need to get themselves back where they were in terms of dominating the game. They're inside, Emmett now, inside their opponent's half. Here comes Brett Waller, looking to keep it alive.
He's lost it.
Yep, it's a clean drop. No steal.
We both can't.
No, it is a steal, is it?
No, he's knocked it on, I think.
Yeah, it is a knock on.
He's tried to offload it and knocked it on.
1 or 2 of the Swinton boys seem to be taking on the referee there, but obviously misread that situation.
No, I think on cordial.
Tony Miller and his staff looking on the Doncaster bench a little more nervous than they were. A lot more nervous than they were. Oh, that has relieved the nerves. Ainsko's knock on. And suddenly Doncaster are handed, literally handed, a fantastic attacking position here. What can they make of it? Sanderson to his feet. Here it comes now. Driven in by Castle. Good hit in by Mark Castle. Takes them ever closer now. Emmett wants it played quickly. Remonstrates with the referee. Goes to the left. Here's Cook. Cook gets it on. It's a little hand up by Waterman. Lee Waterman's in. Boy, does that relieve the pressure on this Doncaster team. Cook involved again, but it was Waterman who needed to finish this. And he manages to get over and maybe just reverses the momentum in this game.
This took some scoring because it's not a gimme. This Cook releases Waterman and it's a one-on-one. He picks out Ainscough. He's just a bit too strong and a bit too much momentum there for Ainscough to get to grips with.
Great
fence. The one-on-one, and he's a big boy, isn't he, Waterman?
Yeah, he is, and like you say, too strong. Good fend, gets a bit of a fend there on Ainscough, gets on the outside of him and just carries him over the line. So important that try, wasn't it, for Doncaster? He just felt Swinton was just slightly starting to get the upper hand in this second half here. Really important, and we can't forget the importance of the game for both teams. They both had indifferent seasons so far in the league campaign, and this is a real opportunity for for either club to be in a position. They get this result here. They're one game away then from a final and a potential silverware for their club.
Yeah, they're, you'd count them as outsiders, wouldn't you? Potentially, if they got through to semi.
Well, you'd have to, yeah. If we're being honest, you would count them as outsiders, but in cup football, as you both know, anything can happen, and on the day, we've seen it happen. I mean, Dewsbury upset Halifax last round. It can happen.
Sheffield, Batley and Lee will all fancy their chances in the quarterfinals coming up. There's a kick. That's a good one. Terrific kick. Sanderson, I think he's 100% tonight, isn't he? 4 out of 4.
Well, here's their opportunity given to him by poor pass from the back of the scrum, and Ainscough's overrun it anyway, and then it's a one-on-one, and
just got to make the tackle, don't you? There, you just got to stop the play.
You've got to get off your line on a bloke like Waterman. You can't give him a run up at you.
Well, he's had a few minutes to forget, hasn't he, Martin Ainscough? The knock-on at the other end, which you can't perhaps blame him for, because it was a high kick. They were going for it desperately, but then the knock-on from the scrum, and then being run through for that tackle as well. I'm sure there'll be a response. It's a chance for Doncaster to build on what they've got here now.
Got some confidence there, Waterman, hasn't he?
24-14 they lead, so a 2-score lead. Just a little bit of a comfort zone being built up. Cook. Spur. Emmett. Quickly up there. Here comes Waller.
Lifted a little bit here, haven't they, Doncaster?
Come on!
Here's Paul Cook again. Looking towards this near side, but Cowling is caught in possession.
Good tackle there, Harvey.
Swinton defenders swarming around in support of Harvey. That was the 5th, so here comes the last. Back to Cook again. Out comes the pressure once more. They got to him, but again, not before he got that kick away.
Great catch, Holmesby.
Yeah, he's done all right since that early blip, hasn't he? He made that early blip where he made that knock on. You thought, oh, this young kid, is it going to be a tough night for him? But he's certainly had a lot of purpose in his carries when he's come with the football, and a great take there from him.
Hold on, wait! Go, good, 2.
Good shot. Kevin Penning, I don't know where you've come from, but you're not going anywhere. The tackle was massive. It's Samir Tarui. Back on again. Here comes Hume, Liam Hume. Dad Paul, Uncle David. There's a bit of talent in that family, isn't there? Here's Mills. Good carry again. Swinton getting back to close to where they want to be. There's plenty of time left in this game for them to get those 2 scores. Doncaster will know that. Hawkyard just dribbles it to that in-goal area. Collected well by Waterman, who can run it free here. And Taru is there to grab a hold of him and put him down.
Very impressed with both fullbacks. I think they've cleaned most things up that have come their way, and injected some pace and some energy into their team when they've carried the ball.
Kill me, you're back on, you've crossed the flank.
2-4. Williams, the man who makes the tackle. 18 minutes left to play in this game. It's ample time.
He's done all right today too. It's good.
Adam Scott.
Adam Scott. Apologies.
Emmett. Mike Emmett. One-time Dewsbury player who's got it inside that Swinton half. Cook now. Chase on the left by Sanderson, but Cook's just happy to see that ball go out of play.
He's going to try and manage this game right for the next 15, 16 minutes, Paul Cook. He's going to kick some sidelines, he's going to get them to walk to scrums, he's going to get them to get energised for one set defence and get the ball back. Smart player.
Yeah, he'll know they've not been at their best this second half, and like you say, Swinton have crept back into the game, and like you say, they're in the position now where they can win this football game if they do the little things well, and he'll make sure he controls that.
There's Richie Hawkyard again.
But you know what? I love his energy. You know, he's you know, the effort he puts in week on week for this club. Been a great servant for the Swinton Lions.
Here's Penny, a little close to the touchline this time, so came on the inside.
Stand up!
Harvey. Oh, it's been left behind by Williams. Loose ball on the ground. So Doncaster given cheap possession again, so a set of 6 that starts inside the Swinton half, and Mark Castle with that first drive forward, already giving them a bit of a platform to work from with his next 5 tackles. Another score here could prove absolutely decisive if it goes to the side in red. Here's Trout. This is Emmett. To his right is Fawcett. Fawcett with a dummy! Through those grabbing hands, and a step right, left, and left again. Takes him past, and he's sparing Richie Hawkyard and Craig Fawcett with another very tidy looking try.
It was little on big. As Craig Fawcett picks out Glenn Riley and steps him up. He sees this, he sees it from the boys. A little bit late back is Riley, and Fawcett sees that. See how he gets back. Glenn Riley thinks, I'm going to have a crack at them. Beats the 2 blokes and then finishes off Hawkyard with a great left foot step.
Great individual try from Craig Fawcett then. And Riley, so he sees the big fella Glenn Riley. He's on his outside shoulder, so he knows there's space on the inside there, because you know, he's wide at A, very wide at A defender there. When we talk about our A defenders, they're the defenders closest to the ruckney where the play the ball is. And Riley was really wide. Fawcett, he sees it, takes a step there, goes into the space, and he has to still beat the fullback. And he does well with his little jinking, stepping footwork there, nimble footwork. It gets around Hawkyard, and it's a great individual try from the halfback. Good vision, good decision, great finish.
So Sanderson has kicked them all so far tonight, and this is, without doubt, the easiest one of the night he's had so far. Just puts it over. 5 out of 5. So 14 for Swinton, 30 points now for Doncaster, and we're getting close to where we were back midway through the first half, i.e. a very sizable Doncaster lead.
Well, here you see he picks out 2 front rowers who just can't quite close the gap for him and gets through, and then you've got to say he's got the head nod, the left foot step, and he beats Richie Hawkyard on the line there. Great individual try.
Did Paul Horton used to have the head step when he played back in your day there, Brian?
He used to use his head. I'm not sure it was a step.
A Northern Rail final, by the way. I know a lot of neutrals like to go to the Northern Rail final because it's a cracking affair. It's a bit like the Challenge Cup, kind of a miniature Challenge Cup, if you like. A lot of neutrals like to go to the Challenge Cup final, Grand Final, with the Northern Rail finals there as well. At Halifax this year, and it's on the 20th of July. The 20th of July, the Northern Rail finals. So whoever you support, go along that day, and you will have, I guarantee you, a cracking day. We've had some fantastic finals, haven't we, in recent years? Certainly the one last year, which Lee... Halifax beat Featherstone last year.
It's produced some great finals in Northern Rail Cup, that's for sure. I'm sure it'll be another cracker again this year.
There's a double header as well, London Scholars against the North Wales Crusaders in the plate final as well.
Absolutely, so 2 games for the price of 1.
2 for the price of 1.
Is it 2 for?
2 for the price of 1. He might be there, so it will be 2 for the price of 1.
He could be. So you saying now, you confidently saying that Doncaster have booked themselves a semi-final place?
You see, I said he might be there.
Oh, right, okay.
Here's Penny. Swinton have still got fight in this game. But they're only 10 metres away from their own line. Here's Tarui. Good carry, taking it in. Takes a 4th minute.
Is he of Algerian descent?
Yes, born in Algeria. He was on the books at St Helens and Warrington Academy. He's most recently been at the South Wales Scorpions. And Brian's already seen him this season, playing against North Wales Crusaders in that Easter Monday game.
Yeah, had a big game. His range, isn't he? And he's got those kind of skills. He
got an offload.
Gone backwards, it's still 4. 1-on-1 with
Hawkyard caught in possession. Trying to twist his way out, getting perilously close to that touchline. Doesn't want to go too far over there.
Sure will be thinking of Watson for that pass.
Good work by the Doncaster defenders. Here's the kick by Harvey.
It was a kick.
Big boo, but it's a bounce that should be okay for 2-4. Swinton up there in enough numbers to make sure he's not got too much room in which to work. But how long left to play? 12 minutes. It's going to take something very dramatic here now for Swinton to get back in this game. Doncaster started off terrifically well, had a dodgy middle period of the game, but as we get to the closing stages, look as though they've wrested control back again. Here's Emmett. He's going to have a go again. No, just closed up quickly. He was threatening to go through. Smith, the offload is good. Cook, little kick through. They're all onside, I think, here. Oh, and Sanderson couldn't get it in. It's Ormsby.
Great kick from Cook, wasn't it?
Good vision.
We've still only had one penalty, I think.
Streamed a bit more now, haven't they? We're not getting one.
That's a good offload.
Well, they're going to have to chance their arm a little bit to try and break this vice-like grip they've got at the moment. Doncaster on the game.
Don't forget to join in the conversation on Twitter, hashtag RL Thursdays. You might want to talk about this move that's developing here for Swinton, or you might talk about the fact that it's been lost and Sanderson has it again. Hashtag RL Thursdays is your handle on Twitter. Doncaster fans, I'm sure at the moment, are very pleased with what they're watching. 11 minutes, just under to play.
What's up, quicker?
Here's Chris Spur, the evergreen Chris Spur, the youthful Chris Spur. Here it comes to his right-hand side. It's Cowling, done well to keep it alive. Fawcett. It's one or two players just seem to be suffering a bit with cramp at the moment. Staying down on their haunches. Danny Cowling on this near side just been stretching his calves, hasn't he? And this is one of the Doncaster players on the far side as well. Here's Emmett now. Fifth tackle. Here comes the last then. This is Cook. Again, a dribble ball through. Again, it's a job to be done by Hawkyard. Not really bothered whether it's a Doncaster player or a Swinton player who catches that. Paul Cook, was he? Because he knew that that would be the likely outcome, that it would be another set.
It's not happy, is he? But they had held him up, they'd caught him, he hadn't gone to ground, didn't get any help from his fellow defenders to stop the tackle, and I think Doncaster players had every right to keep him going there. So he's nowhere near the ground. He's tried to find the ground, they've held him up. There's a little bit of resistance there from Ormsby, but...
Oh, hang on.
I was going to say, I thought the rule was as soon as another player defending... another attacking player came in.
Lens weight.
Yeah, that's right, lens weight. That's the terminology I was looking for. Then that is deemed to be held, isn't it?
Well, we've got a video ref here, I think, to decide whether it's a dropout or a scrum down. Doncaster's head and feed. And it is a scrum. They've decided it's a scrum.
So there's nothing to do with the tackle, was it? Just where he went out.
Yeah, where he went out, yeah.
Does this give Doncaster an advantage, actually? Because they start their set here. There's Waterman. 2-4 from dummy half. Running at them again. Grabbed a hold of by Tarui. So Emmett stands and waits. Options right and left. Goes left to the centre. Here's Cook again. They're coming from all angles. They've got a bit of an overlap here, but Swinton's defence has recovered well.
Seem to be short all the time on that right side, don't they?
They might go that side again, but it's gone back to Cook again down the middle. Here comes Brett Waller. Big surge from Brett Waller. Still a couple of tackles left in the bag. Oh, and a dummy shown by Emmett. And that is the try that finishes the job. Doncaster take their place in the semi-finals of this Northern Rail Cup. Swinton are beaten now without any shadow of a doubt. Mike Emmett, the try scorer.
I don't think he actually meant this, did he? I think it was a bit of a breakdown in communication, but we're just seeing here now, obviously, a controversial decision, I suppose some people will say. Is Ormsby lending weight there? For me personally, I think he's been. It's a fair tackle. They drove him out, but again, there's a letter of the law. There's a letter of the law say that, you know, if he lends weight, it's got to be held. But regardless of that, here's the try, Emmett. Again, I think there's a breakdown of communication there, and he sort of looks up to say, who am I passing the football to? And no one was sort of available, and he just decided to have a go. And the two markers for Swinton just clock off, and he gets in between them. And you won't score an easier try, will you, Brian?
Without getting technical and getting sucked into all this, is lending weight not involve pushing against rather than pulling your own man? Isn't that lending weight?
Yeah, I think it's got. I think it's got to be substantial weight with a view to, and it has to stop momentum. And I don't think momentum was stopped.
No, I agree, and I think it was. It was fair.
I think it was a fair call from the officials.
Here's Sanderson. 36-14 if this one goes over, so 22 points the difference now. 4 tries and 4 goals. Swinton have to, in very unlikely circumstances, score. If they're going to get anything from this, the most probable outcome now is that Doncaster are through to the semi-finals. Hawkyard just being led off on the far side. He's been interchanged for the final time. Pretty sure he knows it's a losing cause now.
Stay on. Stay on side.
Smiles on that bench.
Yes, it's Peter Green's father, Ray Green, there on the right of Tony Miller, with the chewing gum in his mouth. With a Doncaster stalwart, Dave. He's been there for a number of years and seems to be very happy that they're progressing through.
Well, they had that glorious year last year, didn't they, under Tony Miller, when they got promoted and top of the table and first silverware in their history and all that. And
yeah, he's done really well, hasn't he?
Yeah, come to your mate, same drills. What's over, you loose?
And they found their way, finding their way in the championship this year. They found their way to the semi-finals of the Northern Rail Cup.
Well, they have appeared in a final of a Northern Rail a few years ago, Dave. They faced a Salford City Red side that day. Were heavily defeated in the final day, but I think they sort of probably overachieved by getting there, I think, in the first place. But they have been here before.
6.5 to go. Calvert drives it in.
There'll be no pushover in the semis, will there?
There's a little offload that keeps it alive here. Force it.
4.
Spinning it away.
Right, tackle 4. Hold the line. Go. Good. 4. 5. Sammy, square. Hold 5.
Here's Fawcett. Drilling it in. Hits the feet of Harvey. Was that offside?
No, I don't think it was.
So Rui picks it up.
When he caught it. 1. Wait. Go.
Here's Lee Penny. Well, he's provided a moment of magic tonight, hasn't he, Kevin Penny, sorry. Lee Penny, an altogether different player.
Absolutely.
But Kevin Penny's provided us some magic tonight, hasn't he?
Yeah, I enjoyed watching that bit of it in and away. But he did on 2-4.
Hold. Go, come on, Walt.
Smith spinning it back. Watson. Across the line it comes here. Maybe something's developing, but Doncaster are not going to allow it to develop. The attempted offload by Harvey. In the end, he'll be grateful just to keep a hold of it. 5 minutes left to play. Swinton looking for just a little bit here. And here comes Penny again. Down that left-hand side. 2-4 grabbing his shadows. And just about Fawcett got enough on the player. I think Penny's hurt himself as well here.
It's just lovely to see a quick bloke flying down the wing like that. He just backed himself for speed, didn't he? Just 2-4 does him. Done for just an ankle tap. See the ankle tap?
Yeah, he just got him. And he loses the ball because I think he had the ball out ready to pass on the inside. But got to credit the skills as well. You know, big James Brown gets the offload to Reece Williams, and it was nice, quick, slick hands from him to put Kevin Penny away there. But great to see him back his pace on the outside there, and does a couple of the Doncaster players. And unfortunately, they didn't finish off that move, which was potentially a try-scoring opportunity.
He has scored some absolute blinders over the years, hasn't he? Was it the Challenge Cup game, wasn't it? Warrington against St Helens that day. We remember well.
Right. Go.
Doncaster.
Hold on.
Battling their way back towards the halfway line here. 4 minutes of this match remaining.
Come on! Onside. Third. Move! He's calling it. Hold it.
Penalty. Is it? No, he's just knocked it. He's just lost it. Just lost it.
I was only given one all night. He wasn't going to start now, was he?
Mind on. Mind in. Late. Bowling. It's out.
Here's Penny now on the chase again. 2-4. Looking to cautiously make sure that Penny can't get in the way, and he blocks it out. I think he might have got the final touch here. 2-4, so it will be, yes he has, so it will be head and feed for Swinton, so there is a chance of a last bit of glory.
It's been a good battle, these two on the wing, isn't it?
By the way, we've only had one penalty here tonight, and there's been a lot of chatter by the old age pensioners who sit in our truck talking about the old days, and we reckon there was one match where there wasn't a single penalty given, and Colin Morris was the referee that night. Well, guess what? Colin Morris is here tonight. He's here tonight. Hopefully we'll have a look at him before the night is out. Here comes Watson, who's going to be dragged down. There he is, Colin Morris, standing up in the middle. It doesn't look a day older than when he was refereeing, does he? And he once never gave a penalty in an entire game.
Sent me off twice.
Did he? Oh, he's got terrific judgment then. Terrific judgment. Only one penalty here tonight. Here comes Swinton, looking for maybe something right at the end. James Brown on his debut, trying to keep it alive. So they'll be right back here. Roy Noble's been putting his thinking cap on about man of the match. We'll give you his decision in just a moment. Just see what happens here, though, with this final tackle in the set. Smith at dummy half. Harvey, little chip over the top, 2-4, watches it out of play. It will be a tap back on the 20. So Brian Noble, your man of the match here tonight, your Northern Rail man of the match tonight.
Well, I think there've been some great candidates. You know, Waterman at the back's been brilliant for Doncaster, but the man who's pulled the strings, he started the game and really opened it up and gave them the lead in the comfort zone was Paul Cook. His kicking's been great in the second half, and he's got the field, got the team around the field, and yeah. Fine effort.
Yeah, I think it was man of the match of the weekend, wasn't he, for Doncaster at Featherstone? So he's still pulling at those strings, Paul Cook, at 32 years of age. He was Premier Sports Player of the Week last week, by all accounts.
Release.
70 seconds left to play. Doncaster, who looked as though they were going to be pressed hard here tonight, took an early lead, 18-0, but then Swinton came flying back at them and worked hard and got it back to 14-18. The pressure was on, but Doncaster have risen to the task with 3 tries.
Loose carry. Loose carry, let go of it into the player.
There's a knock on, and it seems to be grabbed up.
It was a loose carry, wasn't it, from Waller?
There he is, Colin Morris, the man in the middle, the smart tie, the red tie. In the entirety of one match, never gave one penalty.
No. Because the charge down is like that, he just passes his out. You can't just put your hand up for the charge down. No, you can't. That's a knock on, that's a charge down. Wait, Watto, wait. Late in. Bowling.
So final play of the game from this scrum. Is a time for another flash moment from Kevin Penny. No, there's not. The hooter sounds. Well, Swinton, in the middle part of the game, made a real battle of it, didn't they? They threatened to turn the match around, but the beginning and the end belonged to Doncaster. Paul Cook pulling so many strings. They scored some very good tries here tonight. They did it when it mattered the most.